So this is the first Fastback that I made, and before we ran full production on these, I sent this gun out to Doc Nickel to assemble for me, and he did a great job, and he put these eye covers on because he's the one that solved the eye cover issue for the gun. And since I wasn't really in the business of building guns and selling stuff, I sent him 100 guns to build into Fastbacks and sell and pay me for. Cool. And that was the way I sold these. We can tell it's mine because it's got the crappy front block, because I don't always use the best parts for myself. I just kind of use the stuff that I can't sell to put my things together.
So when you built this, what year was it? Or when you designed it, what year was it?
It would have had to be in the very early 2000s, okay. I would say, because I think that Jonathan Eaton did a lot of work on this, and he was probably programmed a good part of it because he was working for me at the time, and he was doing a lot of the frame and body stuff.
He was working for you as technical troubleshooting or Lapco?
Technical troubleshooting. Because the machine shop is technical troubleshooting.
So you would say this gun was designed by technical troubleshooting?
Sure.
Okay, great. You don't remember seeing a sled design prior to this?
No, I don't remember seeing a sled design. I saw a lot of half blocks, and so this was my solution of one-upping the half block guys, is to make a sled.
Gotcha. This is your frame as well?
Yeah, this is my frame for the race gun that I made for A&S.
Okay, and for the A&S race frame that you designed, how did that tie into Racegun's race frame? Was there any correlation there?
Well, we used their frame as the basis, and then A&S was making a bulk purchase of their electronics, and I thought I could give them a nicer frame that would go together easier. So one, it was a nicer frame that matched their stuff, and we could cut the cost on it for them. And two, I made certain adjustments in the frame so they came together much easier and were much easier to tune. Because the issue with the race gun frames was that you had to tune them in, and everything that I do is always based on reliability. And that means that when you put one together, you should be able to put a second one together, and they should work the same.
Gotcha. What do you call it, the A&S race frame?
Yes, that's what we call it.
The technical troubleshooting race frame?
We call it the A&S race frame because technical troubleshooting really didn't do anything after the custom guns in the late 90s. After that, we're kind of under the radar as an OEM manufacturer. This is just, my design. I was trying to find something to sell, just like the Jackal thing. I was just trying to find an outlet because A&S, had fallen off the planet. So that would probably put it at 2003, maybe?
2003.
Yeah, because it's right where, who was it that came out? It was the pharmaceutical people that came out and made all those cockers.
System X.
System X, there you go. System X came in and just kicked the crap out of the pricing on all the cocker stuff, and so the A&S, took my prototypes and ran off somewhere else to make them differently.
And your eye covers on this, as you said, they were made by Doc.
Yeah, Doc made these eye covers, and I don't remember if I ever ran production on any other kind of eye cover, or if I just sent him raw bodies and let him do whatever he wanted to with eye covers.
How is the wiring done on this? It runs straight up the side?
So he's got a hole under the grip here where the wire would come up. Now, from what I remember, Race used brake beam eyes, so I see a hole on one side. On the eye covers, I see a hole on both sides. See how the eye covers have a little hole on the bottom? Yeah. So I don't know what the end result was on these. Again, this is the number one prototype, and I don't think I ever had any production guns back because I didn't want them. I like to make stuff and have it leave. Yeah. So I sent him a bunch of bodies, and off he went doing whatever.
So the sled style is unique, and then your bolt styling, is that the style that you cut into all of your bolts?
Yeah, this is how the bolts were made.
Yeah, with the little
finger notches. Yeah.
Finger notches.
I'm having trouble remembering some of this stuff because on the Z-Force, I think we made a round knob on it, but on mine, I think we just did these notches. That little pin keeps the bolt from rotating and makes it aligned right. It's sort of an extra cost, so I don't know if anybody else does it or if they just use the main pin that engages the hammer to keep everything straight and vertical. So it slides into the sled, which aligns the bolt to begin with before you press the pin down. Cool. Because, I think that goes faster without having to rotate and fiddle to try and get it straight.
So on the front of this, you have a volumizer, but it's not a volumizer. It's just a extended screw.
Yes, this is not a volumizer. It's an extended block screw. We call it an EBS. And the reason for that is because it makes it easier to get an Allen wrench in there and be able to torque it down properly. That's why the extension, and that's why we didn't bring it back to the short length after the volumizer deal didn't work out, because somebody had a patent on it and they asked us not to make them, so we stopped. And the volumizers became extended block screws. And then we shortened them, actually, because originally they were longer to be a proper volumizer, but once it wasn't doing the volumizer function, we shortened it so that it would assist with the Allen wrench but not waste any more space.
Great, thanks.